Amelia barely slept. She heard the city outside her window, the hum of late-night traffic, the distant sirens, the low rumble of trains, but none of it drowned out the storm inside her. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Jace's face. She heard Cole's voice breaking as he said her name. She felt the ground shifting beneath everything she ever believed about her own life. By morning, her head felt heavy, but she forced herself through her routine. Brush teeth, pull hair into a loose bun, zip her EMS jacket, pretend she wasn't falling apart inside. When she opened her apartment door, she froze. Cole was standing in the hallway. He had dark circles under his eyes, as if he hadn't slept at all. His suit jacket was unbuttoned, his hair slightly disheveled. He looked wrecked. He didn't move closer. He didn't reach for her. He just met her eyes with painful restraint. "I know you don't want to see me," he said quietly, "but I need 5 minutes. Then I'll leave." She tightened her grip on her bag. "5 minutes won't fix what you've been hiding." "I don't expect it to fix anything," he said softly. "I just want to start telling you the truth. All of it." Her heart struck hard against her ribs. "Why now?" "Because the past we buried is coming back," he whispered. "And if you don't hear it from me, someone else will twist it." She looked away, her throat tightening. "I don't know if I can trust you," he swallowed. "I'm asking you to trust yourself. Trust what you feel when you look at me." The silence between them felt alive and trembling. Then, a door down the hall creaked open. Mrs. Hallberg, the elderly neighbor who always complained about noise, peeked out, then smirked. "Well, isn't this dramatic?" she muttered before closing her door again. Cole almost smiled, pained and small. Amelia didn't. She walked past him toward the stairs. Cole followed, keeping distance. "Please, don't shut me out. Not like this." She kept walking. "You had years to tell me the truth. Years. And I spent those years terrified that the truth would get you killed," he said. She stopped at the stairwell landing, breath catching. Cole slowly descended one step, stopping at the edge of her space. Most people would have reached for her, claimed her, demanded forgiveness. Cole didn't move an inch. "I don't want to lose you," he said softly. "Not again." Amelia felt her chest tighten painfully. She blinked hard, trying to ground herself. "I can't do this right now." Her voice cracked. "I have shift in 20 minutes. He nodded slowly. "Then let me drive you." "No." His jaw tensed, a flicker of hurt, but he didn't argue. "Can I walk behind you?" he asked quietly, like he had the night before. The sincerity in his voice shook her, but before she could answer, something sharp and metallic clinked near her feet. Both of them looked down. A small flash drive, black, unmarked, left on the stairwell step. Cole stiffened instantly. "Don't touch that." Amelia frowned. "Why? It's not just anything." His voice dropped into a low, dangerous register she rarely heard. "Someone left that here. For you. Or to trap you." She reached for it anyway. "Amelia, don't." But her fingers closed around it before he could stop her. The moment she picked it up, Cole swore under his breath and scanned the stairwell like he expected someone to be watching. Amelia held it up to the light. "It's a flash drive, that's all." Cole shook his head. "There's no such thing as just a flash drive when it comes to your past." She stared at him, at the fear in his expression, at the tension radiating from him. Fear for her. "What's on it?" she whispered. Cole met her eyes with devastating honesty. "Something someone doesn't want you to remember." Amelia turned the flash drive over in her hand. It was small, light enough to lose in a pocket, harmless enough to ignore, but something about it felt wrong. Cold. Cole didn't reach for it. His hands were curled into fists at his sides, his jaw tight with contained panic. "I'm taking this to the station," Amelia said, turning toward the exit. "No." Cole stepped into her path, not touching her, just blocking her gently. "Not there. Not with your work devices. You don't know what's on it." "And you do?" she asked quietly. His silence answered her. Amelia felt her breath catch. "Cole, what could possibly be on this?" Cole looked away for a moment, fighting some inner battle. When he met her eyes again, he looked as if he were standing on the edge of a choice he'd never wanted to make. "I need to see what's on it before anyone else does," he said. "If it's tied to your past, if it's from whoever took Jace, then opening it anywhere in public could put you in danger." Amelia folded her arms, trying to steady herself. "So what do you want me to do? Hand it to you and pretend everything is fine?" "No." His voice softened. "I want you to come with me." "Where?" He hesitated. Then quietly, "Someplace safe." Her pulse jumped. Fear, confusion, a hint of something she didn't want to name. "I'm not going anywhere alone with you," she said. Cole nodded slowly, accepting the blow. "Then we'll bring someone you trust." Amelia's brows knit. "Who?" "Your partner, Shauna." He glanced at her anxiously. "Or your supervisor, or a cop. Anyone you want. I don't care who's there. I just need to keep you safe." The sincerity in his voice hit her like a wave. Messy, raw, unpolished. But the suspicion coiled inside her was stronger. "You should go," she said quietly. "I'll figure this out on my own." She pushed past him. Cole took one step, after her, then forced himself to stop. He let her walk away. Instead, he whispered, "Please be careful." But his voice barely traveled. Amelia headed down the stairs, gripping the flash drive so tightly it dug into her palm. Her mind churned with questions that only grew heavier with each step. Why was this left for her? Who knew where she lived? What did they want her to remember? What if she didn't want to remember? She stepped out onto the street and inhaled deeply, trying to calm herself, only for her phone to buzz again. A new message from the same unknown number. Her hands went cold. "Ilara. Don't open it." She froze. Another message came in immediately. "He can't protect you this time." Her chest tightened. A third message arrived, this one with an attachment. A blurry photo. Her, sleeping, in her own apartment. A gasp left her throat. She looked around desperately, at the rooftops, the alleys, the parked cars, but no one seemed to be watching. No one seemed out of place. Her heart hammered as her fingers hovered over Cole's contact name. She should call him, she should. But something inside her resisted. Anger, hurt, betrayal. Instead, she whispered to herself, "I need answers." She started walking faster, gripping the flash drive. Halfway down the block, a black car slowed beside her. A window rolled down. "Jace." "Get in," he said. "You're not safe out here." Amelia stared at him, torn between terror and the aching hope that he might hold the truth she'd been denied. She swallowed hard. "Did you send those messages?" Jace shook his head. "If I had access to your apartment, I wouldn't have waited this long to find you." Her stomach twisted. "So who did?" His expression darkened. "The same people who erased you." Amelia didn't get inside the car immediately. She stood on the sidewalk, heart pounding hard enough to hurt, staring at the man who claimed to be her brother. "Get in," Jace repeated quietly. "Please, we can't talk out here." She stepped back. "I don't know you." "I know," he said softly. "But I know you. I've known you your entire life. I know the way your left eyebrow twitches when you're overthinking. I know you hate cold coffee, but always forget you made it. I know you hum when you're nervous, even though you don't notice it. And I know." His voice cracked just slightly. "I know that you used to run to me when things scared you." Her breath caught. She didn't remember any of that. But hearing him say it made something deep in her chest ache. "I'm not Alara," she whispered. Jace gave her a sad, almost broken smile. "You are. They just took her from you." She swallowed hard. "Who is they?" she asked again. "Cole's family? Someone else? Why was that flash drive in my building?" Jace's expression hardened. It wasn't Cole this time, and that's what scares me. Her stomach twisted painfully. "So what do they want?" "To make sure the truth never comes out." His gaze sharpened. "And right now, that truth is sitting in your hand." Amelia looked down at the flash drive, her fingers tightening around it. Every instinct screamed danger, but another instinct whispered something else. "Answers. Get in the car," Jace said again. "I swear on our mother's grave, I won't let anything happen to you." Her chest tightened at the word mother. A memory flickered. A woman humming softly, placing a warm hand on her cheek. But the image vanished before she could grasp it. Amelia climbed slowly into the passenger seat. The door shut with a heavy click. "Seatbelt," Jace said. She clicked it into place. As he pulled into traffic, Amelia stole a sideways glance at him. He looked older, harder, like a man who had lived through something brutal. His hands on the wheel were steady, but his jaw was clenched tight. "Where are we going?" she asked. "To a safe place," he said. "A place they don't know about." "That doesn't answer my question." He hesitated. "You'll see." Amelia swallowed. "You have to stop talking in half answers. If you want me to trust you..." Jace let out a slow breath. "Fine. You want the truth? Here's one piece of it." He glanced at her. "You weren't the only one they experimented on." The words hit her like a slap. "Experimented," she whispered. He nodded. "Memory alteration, identity suppression, behavioral reconstruction. You weren't the only subject." Her mouth went dry. "You're talking like this was some kind of program." "It was." She shook her head. "That sounds insane." "Does it?" he asked. "You woke up one day with a new name, new life, new memories, and missing 2 years. Does that sound normal to you?" She looked down, her breath shuddering. Jace softened. "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it like that. But you need to understand, what happened to you wasn't an accident. It was a decision." She forced her voice out. "Who did this to me?" Jace opened his mouth to answer, but a black SUV shot out from a side street, slamming into them with brutal force. Amelia screamed. The car spun violently, metal crushing, glass shattering, Jace shouting her name. Then silence. The world stopped. Everything blurred. Amelia's vision flickered in and out, the sound of her heartbeat thundering in her ears. She tasted blood. Something warm trickled down her forehead. Jace groaned beside her. "Ilara, Amelia, stay with me." Outside the shattered window, dark figures stepped out of the SUV. Slow, purposeful, dressed in black. One of them leaned down, peering into the wrecked car. A voice like ice whispered, "Take her." Amelia tried to move, tried to scream, tried to do anything, but her world went black. Voices floated in and out of Amelia's consciousness like echoes underwater, muffled, distant, distorted. "She's bleeding. Move faster. Cole will find us. Not if we finish this first." Her eyelids fluttered, heavy as concrete. Her head throbbed with a sharp, pulsing pain. She tried to lift her hand, but her limbs felt strapped to the floor. Too heavy, too weak. A cold metal surface pressed against her cheek. She wasn't outside anymore. She wasn't in the car. She wasn't anywhere she recognized. Somewhere close, a man groaned. Jace. Amelia? His voice cracked, rough with pain. She forced her eyes open a sliver. Jace lay a few feet away, restrained to a metal support beam, blood trickling down from his hairline. His jacket was torn, his breathing sharp and shallow. When he saw her move, his eyes widened with relief. "Thank God, you're awake!" Amelia tried to push herself up, but pain shot down her left side. She gasped. "Don't move," Jace rasped. "You might have a cracked rib." She blinked slowly, her vision still blurred. Their surroundings came into focus bit by bit. A dim warehouse, concrete walls, broken light fixtures, the faint smell of oil and dust. A single overhead bulb flickered, casting long shadows across the floor. "Where are we?" she whispered. "A holding site," Jace said. "They used places like this years ago, for transfers, for..." His jaw tightened. "For people like us." Her blood ran cold. Before she could respond, footsteps echoed behind them, measured, confident, not in any rush. A tall figure stepped into the light. A man in a tailored charcoal suit. Immaculate, controlled, dangerous. His presence filled the room like a cold wind. Amelia's heart dropped. She didn't know him, but she somehow felt like she was supposed to. Jace's voice was thick with hatred. "You." The man glanced at Jace briefly, then stepped closer to Amelia. "Hello, Alara." Amelia flinched. "My name is Amelia." He smiled, calm, chilling. "Not to me." She tried to scoot back, but pain shot up her ribs. He crouched beside her, tilting his head, studying her face like a scientist examining a specimen he'd created. "You really don't remember me," he murmured. "Fascinating." "Who are you?" she whispered. He lifted her chin with a gloved finger. Not roughly, but with a sickening sense of ownership. "My name is Adrian." He paused. "Adrian Harrington." Her stomach dropped so violently she almost vomited. Cole's father. Jace strained against his restraints. "Don't touch her." Adrian didn't even look at him. His eyes stayed on Amelia, cold, calculating, like he was looking through her. "I told Cole this would happen," Adrian said. "I told him the moment you began remembering, everything would fall apart." Amelia's breathing turned shallow. "Woo. What do you want from me?" Adrian's lips curved slightly. "I want to finish what I started." Fear flooded her veins. He wiped a speck of dust from his glove. "You were supposed to disappear quietly," he said. "But Cole made the mistake of getting attached." Her heart cracked, painfully, attached. Cole had said he loved her long before she knew him. Adrian leaned closer. "Cole always had a weakness for you," Jace snarled. "Leave her out of your twisted games." Adrian finally looked his way. "Your sister was an inconvenience from the start, but when she began remembering, she became a threat." Amelia's hands trembled uncontrollably. "Remembering what?" Adrian straightened. "That you weren't just a witness." He stepped back. "You were the target." Her entire world froze. "Target? For what?" she asked, voice breaking. Adrian's eyes gleamed with satisfaction. "For knowing the truth." He turned slightly. "About the night of the fire." Amelia's blood turned cold. The fire. The night Jace died. The night her memories vanished. The night her life started over. Adrian took a step toward the exit, adjusting his cufflinks. "I'll give Cole one chance," he said. "If he comes alone, I'll let one of you live." Jace's eyes blazed with fury. "You monster!" Adrian paused, his expression ice. "I'm a realist. Survival requires difficult choices. Cole was always too emotional to make them." He began walking away. Amelia's voice cracked as she whispered, "Why me? What did I ever do to you?" Adrian didn't turn around. You existed. The door slammed shut behind him. Amelia's breath shook so hard she could barely inhale. Jace whispered hoarsely, "Amelia, look at me. Stay with me." But all she could think was one thing, one name, Cole. And whether he would come for her, or whether coming for her meant destroying himself. Amelia's pulse hammered in her ears long after Adrian's footsteps faded. The warehouse felt colder now, emptier, like all the oxygen had been sucked out along with him. She pressed her forehead against the concrete floor, trying to steady her breathing as panic clawed at her chest. "Amelia," Jace rasped, "look at me." She forced her head up. His face, bruised, bloodied, but alive, was the only thing grounding her. "You're not alone," he whispered. "I'm here. I'm not leaving you again." Tears blurred her vision. Why is he doing this to us? Jace exhaled shakily. Because your existence threatens everything he built. He needs the truth buried, permanently. "What truth?" she whispered. "What did I see that night?" Jace closed his eyes, pain flickering across his face. "Something he killed to hide." Her blood ran cold. "But don't focus on that now," Jace said quickly. "Focus on staying awake. Help is coming." "How do you know?" she whispered. Jace lifted his chin toward the corner of the room. "Because Cole, he's tracking you." Amelia followed his gaze. She hadn't noticed it, half hidden behind a crate, flickering faintly. A tiny red dot. A tracker. Cole had slipped one into her jacket the night they argued, not to control her, to protect her. Her breath shook. "Jace," she whispered, "I don't know what to believe anymore." He gave her a sad smile. "Believe this. Cole isn't Adrian. Whatever happened in the past, Cole didn't want this for you. He didn't want this for either of us." Before Amelia could answer, a loud metallic clatter echoed from somewhere deeper in the warehouse. Amelia stiffened. What was that? Jace's eyes sharpened. "They're not gone." The overhead bulb flickered wildly. Shadows danced across the walls. Heavy boots scraped against concrete. Slow, deliberate, searching. "Amelia." Jace's voice dropped to a desperate whisper. "You need to move. Try to get to me. Use the pole to break my restraints." "I can't," she whispered. "I can barely—" "Try," he insisted. "They'll come back for you first." Her stomach twisted painfully. She braced her hands against the floor and pushed, her ribs screaming in protest. She managed to drag herself a few inches before collapsing again. "I can't," she cried. "Yes, you can," Jace whispered fiercely. "You survived the fire. You survived memory erasure. You survived everything they threw at you. You are stronger than anything in this place." Boot steps grew louder, closer. Amelia clenched her teeth, grabbed a piece of broken metal from the floor, and dragged herself forward, inch by painful inch. Jace murmured, almost chanting, "Come on, come on." A door slammed open at the far end of the warehouse. Amelia froze. A tall figure stepped into the room, backlit by harsh white light. Her heart stopped. Not Adrian. Not one of the masked men. Cole. He stood in the doorway like a storm, breathing hard, chest rising and falling, eyes blazing with a fury Amelia had never seen before. For a moment, no one moved. Then Cole's whisper cut through the silence. "Amelia." Her eyes filled instantly. "Cole." He didn't run to her. He didn't shout. He didn't panic. He walked slowly, controlled, lethal, like a man who had come to tear the world apart if necessary. Behind him, someone shouted, "Harrington, don't take another step." A gun cocked. Cole didn't even flinch. He turned his head slightly. "Point that at her," he said in a dead, flat voice, "and you won't live long enough to pull the trigger." Even Jace stared, stunned. Cole wasn't the polished billionaire right now. He wasn't the cool-headed executive. He wasn't even the broken man who had begged Amelia to let him explain. He was something else entirely. A man willing to burn the world down for her. One of the masked men stepped forward. "Boss said only she leaves alive if you..." Cole lifted his hand. "Say his name again," he murmured, "and I'll break every bone in your body." Amelia stared at him, chest tightening painfully. She'd never seen him like this, never imagined he could look so dangerous or so devastatingly determined. The man hesitated. Cole took another step, then another, and everything happened at once. Gunfire exploded. Jace shouted. Amelia screamed Cole's name. And Cole, without hesitation, threw himself between her and the bullet. If that ending shook you, Episode 3 will change everything. Tap the next episode. Cole's sacrifice was only the beginning of the truth Amelia's been running from.